Okay, I'm awesome. I totally screwed up pushing buttons. I was too busy doing this, and
cool
I messed up
though.
the button sequence. Yes! Teed is so proud. Hi, my name is Jens Anderson, otherwise known as Spittle. I'm your Senior Creative Director on DC Universe Online. And joining me for this very special DLC 11 Halls of Power Part 1 live stream is Donovan Kennedy, otherwise known as Dizzy Kraken.
Yep, it's good
Come
to be
on,
here.
get closer.
Get
Get on screen. Come on. It's okay. If you can't put your arm around me, you're not close enough. Yes! See that? It took me 50 episodes of FNL to get a hug from Meps. And you, like that. You're easy.
No problem.
All right, joining us from the Meps cave is Meps.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing better now that I got past that, title screen, ESRB debacle. Did you see that I put up the main event screen for a second there?
I did. I was really proud of that moment.
Yes, I'm so good. Okay, so tonight we're going to show you a bunch of stuff about Halls of Power Part 1. We're going to go through the story, the content, some of the cast of characters, the new styles, the environments.
Yep, lots of cool NPCs.
Yes. Yep. Very cool things. All things New Gods related. It should be fun, so get ready. All right, let's go over to the game screen right now. Here's one of the new character select screens that we have done for the DLC. There's one specifically for heroes and one for villains. I am a hero, so this is the hero version. This is actually a portion of the Necropolis, which is a place that we'll talk about when we get into the live screen. There's a Necropolis on Apocalypse, and there's one on New Genesis, and this is the one that's on New Genesis, deep below the surface.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that soon, though. Okay, let me actually log in here as Buffalo Milk, and we will start going through some of the content. So we have a lot of stuff in here. Let's talk about the content structure. How many raids? How many alerts? What forms do they take? Lay it on us.
So we have 3 basic raids, 3 8-man pieces of content.
Not one.
Yep.
Not 2.
3. Yeah.
3.
Yep. We have 2 basic raids. They have different levels of difficulty, different types of content that you're playing against, and one of them you play in your league hall. That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see other people's league hall potentially. If you don't have a league hall.
Yeah, so how does that work? So league halls are coming in an update prior to DLC, to Halls of Power launching,
yep,
right?
Exactly.
And if you have a league hall and you're in a group, and it's just all one league, you all spawn into your own league hall for this content.
Yep.
If it's a mixed league group, then randomly it'll choose.
Yep.
If no one has a league,
it'll pull one randomly off the server.
Exactly.
Yep. For your faction.
For your faction.
Yep.
For your hero faction. So
Which
you
can be really cool to see other people's league halls.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So get to decorating and making your league hall very cool. And you're going to see all kinds of cool content in the league hall. So there's one which is just kind of an arena style one that's in the league hall, which is super hard.
That's our most difficult one. Yep.
Right.
It has some really interesting mechanics, and it'll definitely have a learning curve to it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No spoilers.
Yep. No.
No strats. No tips for you, people.
Not yet.
And then we have what else? What are the other pieces of 8-man?
So the other 8-man, it's a single raid, is in the Necropolis, like you were just showing.
What is going on here?
You either go
literally
to the hero or the villain.
The taxi pooping mob came through here or something.
Tower. That's pretty weird.
Okay. Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So you're going to be fighting through the Necropolis, looking for relics of the old world that are buried down in the Necropolis, and then towards the end, you'll be fighting the inhabitants of the Necropolis, which are old world gods that have been left in the
old gods.
The old gods that have been left in the Necropolis since the time that the planets broke.
Let me
apart.
talk about that really quick. Well, actually, so let's not get into the story part.
Sorry.
The important thing is there's 3 raids. One is an arena style in the league hall. The other
next is a crawl through the Necropolis.
You'll
be fighting the inhabitants of the Necropolis, and then some iconic at the end.
Okay, what's the third one?
And then the third one is you start in your league hall or a league hall. You have some. Basically, you get invaded there, and then from there you move on to the Necropolis and do another crawl through the Necropolis. So that one's an operation.
Okay, cool. And then we have 2 pieces of 4-player content.
Yep. We have an open world inner gang.
I love this one.
Alert operation, 4-player operation.
It takes place in actually the original open world Metropolis to start out fighting
Yep.
Intergang.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And then you will.
It's very Die Hardy. Like
yeah.
Die Hard 3?
Die Hard.
Was it
Is
3?
it 3?
Which is the one
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
rob the bank?
I think it's 3.
Or rob
gold.
the gold from Wall Street.
The
Yeah.
gold mall,
Die Hard with a
vault.
vengeance.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. It's
Yeah.
very Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah. Yeah. So then you find out why they're trying to take the gold, and you follow them to some location. I don't know if you revealed that.
No.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I did. You go to Oolong.
You go to
after
Oolong,
that,
yeah,
and you
and-
fight some Oolong because Oolong,
Yeah.
you know, Shang Tzu and has a connection to Apocalypse, and so does Bruno Mannheim, Intergang, all that kind of stuff. So there's that one. And what about the other?
Let's see. What is the last one?
It's an alert inside your league hall. I believe.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that's so the first 2 League Hall things that I mentioned were basically kind of single room missions in the League Hall, and then the alerts that's in the League Hall is a crawl through the League Hall. So you'll go to all of the rooms, all of the
Various
features of the
wings
League
and
Hall, all
stuff,
the
yeah.
wings, and you're getting invaded because of activity that you've been doing in the other missions. The new gods inhabitants are invading your League Hall to try to get stuff back.
Now, if you missed all the League Hall stuff and you want to know what that environment's going to look like, go watch the League Hall stream. We're not going to be covering that tonight. We're going to be doing some environments, characters, the new styles, and all kinds of NPCs and things like that. Okay, cool. So let's talk about story really quick while we're in here. So obviously we have some new gods. There's some on the screen right now. Mr. Miracle, Big Barda.
And there's some bugs walking back and forth.
Yep,
back there too.
some bugs too, and we'll show you all those. But the point is here, so basically this whole DLC revolves around the Fourth World, Jack Kirby's Fourth World, which is the New Gods franchise. But it really deals with the backstory and sort of the birth of the New Gods and the Fourth World, which means we're actually going to be doing some things in the Third World. The Necropolis that we're going to jump to right now, actually, let's go ahead and zone to the Necropolis. You want to type in, go ahead and type in the region. Do you have it handy? Did you print it out? No? I don't think I printed it out. Meps,
I printed it out.
did you leave it in here?
No, I printed it for myself.
Oh,
I'll
how
bring you my
selfish
copy.
of you. No, that's okay because you need that. We have a fabulous. Did you get it sent in email?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, crud. It would be awesome if we could, paste it in. Go ahead and, hey, Meps, go to the Necropolis and pull us there. Let's just do it that way.
Sure.
Drive us around. That way Donovan doesn't have to type. You know, Meps, if you and I were in Die Hard with a Vengeance, I think I would be Samuel L. Jackson and you would be Bruce Willis.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, just think about our FNL, broadcasts. Like, I'm always complaining and griping about things at you, and that's kind of more Samuel L. Jackson, isn't it, in that film?
Yeah, I guess that is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but as far as like hero factor and pure awesomeness, maybe the
Yeah,
roles
totally
would be
me, definitely.
switched.
You're right.
No, I think they'd be switched. But I'm.
So we want to go into the Necropolis, you said, right?
Yeah, we want to go to the Necropolis.
Okay, just making sure I've got the right one.
So basically, in the Necropolis, what happened was there was this world called Urgrund, which is basically the Norse, where the Norse gods lived. So like Thor, Odin, all those guys. And the Ragnarok happened, and the world was torn asunder, torn into 2 pieces. And the Norse gods were the Third World. They were the old gods, as they're known. And during Ragnarok and their subsequent death and the destruction of their world, Urgrund split into 2, and one half became New Genesis, and the other half became Apocalypse. And the new gods were born, which was basically Darkseid and Highfather and all the new gods that follow them and their faction. So very cool stuff in terms of that backstory. But the ruins of the Third World, the ruins of the civilization that was on Urgrund, were buried deep within the crust of both of these planets, and they're called the Necropolis. And in the Necropolis live these creatures who are actually the sort of zombie husks of the... Well, why'd you bring me here? Hold on, let me go into God mode. And let me toggle hate.
Where did you want to go?
No, it's fine. I just didn't expect to, have parademons in front of me at this moment.
These are the friendly guys.
When I'm a hero. Anyway, so the old gods died. Their world was buried in this huge cataclysm beneath the surface of the two planets, and so we've recreated that environment in what's known as the Necropolis on both. And one of them's kind of fiery and burnt up a little bit and kind of charred because it's on the Apocalypse, and the other is just very dusty and tomb-like because it's been on New Genesis. And in that area are countless artifacts of the old gods, still kind of thrumming and humming with power. And Darkseid is looking for components of these artifacts, and he is. You can see some of the environment right here. He is actually, trying to do something with these artifacts. We know it's bad, so we either want to stop him as heroes or help him as villains. So you kind of jump down this big old hole here, and boop, you're down at the bottom now. We're inside the Necropolis, even deeper now. You see kind of these old, very cool objects of technology and magic fused together as part of the old gods world. You can see some of their architecture and structures here, which are just buried and fused with the rock. And in these tunnels are the dregs. The dregs are basically the remnants of the old gods. Most of the old gods got sucked into this thing called the Source Wall. Can you open the doors for me? Most of the old gods got sucked into this thing called the Source Wall. And I think it's that one. Yeah, there you go. And but some of them didn't. Some of them were left behind in the Necropolis.
You could just go to the door switch on the other side. You're not supposed to open this door.
Right over here? Okay. And
just in case.
yeah, it's fine. There we go. And they are frozen sort of in time, constantly battling each other in their mindless husks, kind of zombies, right? Mm-hmm. And they're always fighting. Now I have hate toggled off right here and God mode on. These guys will engage you. Yep. They have no faction.
Nope.
They don't care hero, villain.
Yep.
They just want to kill things. They're continually to this day, millennia later, still fighting in the last moments of Ragnarok.
Absolutely.
And they're sort of trapped here. And they die and are reborn endlessly. So these are the dregs. You can see they kind of have this really cool old god, Kirby-esque kind of, space Viking kind of armor happening here. Here's some more of them. And they're sort of ever battling, ever fighting. And you come here to sort of search for artifacts, and you have to fight these dregs and clear out these halls on your way to try and find these artifacts. Other times you come in here and either parademons or bugs have cleared out the dregs, and you, as a hero or a villain, you're trying to stop them respectively and recover the artifact that they're searching for to prevent it or make sure it falls into Darkseid's hands. So these are the cool looking dregs. They all have all these different weapons, very powerful weapons from the third world. What?
Artifact.
Oh my god, okay. So here's the coolest part. Let me make sure I have God mode off. Okay, God mode is off. I could get killed by these guys. We'll see, because they do have AE effects going on. Meps, are you in here?
I am, but I'm not with you. Do you want me?
Yeah, come here and kill these dudes for me. I want to show people what this does. And then unghost yourself or unhide yourself when you're here. I'll start killing them too. Yeah, help me kill these guys. Just damage them. Can we kill them down in there, or can we damage them?
You have to damage.
You have to damage. All right, do a lot of damage. They're big dudes. Oh, you're dead. Oh, you're dead. Normally, it's not this easy, people. I make it look easy.
Yeah, they're a little bit more of a
but
challenge.
It's not this easy. All right, so around here, you can find these artifact weapons. Oh, you respawned.
Yeah,
they're popping back up.
Because the artifact weapon is near them.
Yes, so these artifact weapons have a game effect. Describe it.
Yeah, if a artifact weapon's on the ground near any of these knocked out dregs, they will get up and continue fighting. Those
so you
things,
don't want to kill them near
to
these
keep
things.
Fighting.
Or you don't want to leave them on the ground. Either one,
yep,
right?
Exactly.
If I'm carrying the artifact weapon, does it trigger that?
Not at all.
Okay, so you want to pick this
stuff
stuff
up. But if you die and drop it, all of a sudden
it'll res up some dregs
exactly.
and they'll start fighting again.
Yep.
Okay, so check this out. Here's what the artifact weapons do. They're so cool. You pick it up. Blam! Oh my god, I'm so much bigger than you, Maps! it embiggens you. So it makes you larger because the old gods were actually much bigger than us, and then the new gods they're larger size. So this actually fills you up with the power of the third world, and you get much larger. Now, why would you want to use this? Hey, check it out. I just used a weapon mastery combo, and I have a shield on me. What's up with that?
So you still have the cool weapon mastery combos, and then you also get some...
Well, you get them, right? When
yep,
you pick the weapon up, you get full weapon mastery for that weapon.
Exactly. And then you also get some special procs. See the burst of arrows? That's a special proc that that the artifact weapon can give you. Depending on which role you are and depending on which weapon, they can do different kinds of procs.
Some of them summon pets.
Yep.
Some of them do like shields. Some
do
all
shields.
different
Some do
kinds
fear
of things.
effects, stuns, knockdowns, extra damage, frenzies.
Does it benefit the group to choose not only like maybe who's good with that type of weapon, but also what role they are when they pick these things up?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're, I mean, and like I said, it depends on which role you are. With the bow, especially, it can do extra damage for DPS. But as a healer, you get extra healing and things like that. So. But whoever knows how to use the weapon the best, obviously.
Yeah. How many weapons are there?
11, one for each
Nice.
weapon.
And they're random, right?
It is random here.
You never know which one's going to be lying on the ground.
Exactly. They could be lying on the ground. A boss could have them. So if you defeat a boss, maybe you can get his weapon. It's pretty cool stuff like that.
Yeah.
But these are only in Necropolis.
Now, how do I get rid of this if I've picked it up?
There's two ways to get rid of it. One is to die.
Okay, that's not a good way. I don't want to do that way.
The other is to go back up to the entrance where that collector guy was.
Right.
He tells you right at the beginning that if you don't want the weapon, he'll take it for you, and you just interact with this old god's thing.
Okay, now I'm back to me again.
And it'll drop on the ground.
Or it's supposed to, right?
It should have. Yeah, strange.
Maybe it's... Okay, bug. We found a bug.
Yeah, weird.
Okay. So then you could pick it back up or there it is. It's at the bottom. So now somebody else could pick it up if you wanted to switch out, found a different weapon later or something like that. All right, so this is the Necropolis on New Genesis, or sorry, on Apocalypse.
Yep.
There's also one on New Genesis.
Yep.
Here's a boss. This bug. No, sorry, this is one of the sub bosses.
Yep.
He's a dreg, and he has the dual weapon. So when I defeat him, is he going to drop the dual weapon thing? All right, let's try that. Uh-oh. I'm going to kill you. Oh, no! He summoned dudes. All right, so each of these boss fights has very specific mechanics and gameplay things. Now, you guys have spent some... No, but you guys have spent some time trying to really incorporate the role mechanics into these.
Absolutely.
Right? So what are some of the things you might have done? Dual wield.
So one of the things I actually... so there you go. You got bigger, and you have the purple is you're proccing like a frenzy effect, so you're doing a lot of extra damage. You actually crit almost every hit when those purple effects are up.
Nice.
So some of the cool mechanics. One of the things I really asked the team to work on is there's kind of a design philosophy called orthogonal differentiation, which basically means that different kinds of guys, even though they're in the base pop or just regular people with the same stats across the board, they have different functions in combat. So we have some guys that are healers, and we have some guys that charge and guys that do extra damage. And depending on what kind of roles there are, you want to approach them differently. So like in some cases your tank really needs to be on the ball to try to tank to taunt guys, and controllers need to be on the ball if say a healer shows up. Probably the healer or the controller is going to be the one to really take care of that situation, because the tank's not going to pull off a healer. Then there's guys that may do extra damage, buffs, lots of different things like that. So and that's outside the basic boss mechanics. Boss mechanics also, we really tried to look at things that we've done in the past that are good.
That players liked.
Like controller mechanics. And an interesting mechanic that you had actually thought up that we used a couple times in this DLC.
Do tell.
is some things like controller debuffs may have bonus effects on some bosses. Like, say, for instance, a boss may go into frenzy and he has an increased DPS. Well, if the controller debuffs his DPS, not only does it debuff his DPS, but it also removes that frenzy effect at the same time. Things like that are really cool. There's times where tanks really need to use their breakout ability, where group-wide stuns or knockdowns and things like that will devastate the group if the tank's not paying attention. So, yeah, we tried our best to do some really interesting things.
Cool. All right. Well, everyone will let us know how we did when we hit
absolutely.
PC tests, I'm sure, and we'll do some tweaking like we normally do if we can.
Yep.
All right. So what are these? Here's a relic right here. This is the things we're after, and there are a bunch of these.
Yep.
And they're the kind of things that Darkseid is looking for.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep. So you're gathering those up.
It's a beautiful environment. So cool.
You're carrying them towards the end of the mission. Yeah.
And then we're not going to go too far or all the way through here. I'm just going to give you an idea of what some of this environment kind of looks like. Oh, I don't have God mode on, do I? No, I'm getting hit by people. All right, here's another sub-boss, one of the larger dregs, and you can see what he looks like if I can get him to stand still for a second.
And in the case,
he's the bearded one, dude.
Yeah.
Does he have an eye patch? No. Okay. All right,
because you
cool.
have toggle hate, they're fighting each other still.
Yes, normally. Here's another artifact. The crazy, creepy. These Kirby artifacts, we looked at a lot of them that were from the New Gods, and they were pretty wacky stuff that he kind of makes. Yeah. Like, some of them look like objects of science, and others look like these weird ritualistic things.
Yeah, it's interesting,
like, wow.
the mix between magic and science and everything. Yeah.
But gorgeous looking room. I particularly love the Kirby elements that are layered in just the environment itself. You can see kind of those stylized lines with the dots that are on the ground. You can even see it kind of like layered into, like, look at the texture on that one where the power is kind of pulsing along that line. All that almost Kirby-esque like circuitry work that's going. Yeah, very like techie kind of stuff. So many details went into this by our environment art team.
That's beautiful.
And they did a wonderful job. And then also, the character art team doing a great job with all the characters, including the dregs here, who are just fighting it out. Zombies. Kirby space Viking zombies. Cool stuff. Yeah. Very cool stuff. All right. What are we talking about next, Maps? What's on the list?
Well, do you want to show the other Necropolis or no?
Sure. We can go there really quick just to show kind of the difference. I mean, it's basically the same kind of, because it all comes from Urgrund, even though it was split apart onto two planets. It was the same city, the same culture, the same tech. It just looks a little different because after eons of being on Apocalypse and the fire pits sort of cooking the place like an oven, it has a very kind of dark, cooked, baked kind of look. And the one in the on New Genesis, which is a very idyllic planet, very much like a paradise.
On the surface, anyway.
On the surface, it's just kind of dusty and old looking. Have I come through here already, or no? I don't know where I came from.
I don't know.
Oh, you can see some of the special effects that they were using too. They just did a little cool Kirby effect. Yeah, I think I came through here and killed some people.
Other bosses.
I love this vista. There's all these vistas all over the place too, that you can get different looks at kind of the big caverns with the massive pieces of architecture that have sunk in and gotten crushed and stuff like that. All right, you pulling me?
Okay. Yep. Here you go.
All right. Pull me.
And the Necropolis is kind of a maze, so you didn't show the map or anything here, but...
You want me to? I'll do it in the next one.
Yeah, it's...
it changes each time?
Exactly.
Yeah.
In this mission, you may go different paths, so...
And you never know which path you're going to get. Exactly. So a lot of different ways. Is it?
Yeah, see the parademons?
Oh, yeah. You pulled me to the same one, dude.
Is it? Oh.
Oh, no. This is a different one.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's just a different data.
Yeah. So you can see just a little dustier, a little less charred and black and stuff like that. Let's go down into here. So same type of environment, at least in the beginning. And again, you're going to come through here in different directions and stuff like that. Heroes have their own versions of these. Villains have their own versions of these. Villains and heroes fight drags, but on the other sides, it's villains fighting bugs and heroes fighting parademons.
In the other mission.
Yeah, in the other missions. It depends on which version of the Necropolis or what mission you're on. It depends on what's going on in the Necropolis. And there's all this really cool story involving, like, what? They're doing what now? Okay, so we come to the Necropolis, or they come to our league hall, and it's different kind of combinations of enemies and things like that, and objectives. And of course, the gameplay changes as we talked about. All right, let me just open this up. I'll run through really quick a couple of these, and then we're gonna show styles, I think, right, Matt?
Well, do you want to take a couple questions first? You want to save those all for the
Sure, I'll take questions on the environment and the story. I won't take, what's the style question if we haven't shown the style.
Sure, yeah. So people were asking about artifact weapons,
Yeah.
and they were wondering how many different ones you could find in an instance. Is it just one, or is it random?
Multiple. There are, like Donovan said, there are 11 total, one for each weapon style in the game, which come full weapon mastery and give you the proc. But there are a limited number per run.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
So, like, not everyone in a run.
Not all 11 in one instance. You can't get your whole raid group outfitted with these weapons. I think it's like 3 or 4 or something like that, right? Or is it
more
2?
like 2 or 3?
2 or 3, sorry.
Depending on which instance you're running. And yeah, so I mean, that makes it so the players really should choose who's picking up the weapon. Like the dual pistols right there. Not everybody's going to be know how to use dual pistols very well, so...
like me, I have no idea what the dual pistol weapon mastery combos are, so I'm just doing dual pistol combos.
But you can always open up your skill tree and see what the combos are and do them. So,
all right, cool.
I want to be clear on one thing too. How long do you keep the weapon?
You keep the weapon until you die, or you go back to the vendor, the guy in the beginning, who will remove it from you.
Or
once the instance is over. You zone out, you no longer have it.
Yep.
You don't get to keep these things. They're temporary sort of things that you find and use in the content.
Yep.
Okay, just a couple more. Davis OTD asks,
What's up, Davis?
What is the CR requirement to get into these instances?
Mr. Donovan?
It's 100. Pretty sure it's 100. Maybe it's 103, but it's 100.
Let's find out.
Something like that.
Boop, boop, boo. Oh, I have to leave.
We changed those on...
And I can't leave, because we're not... Here. I'm going to warp to the HQ. I'm out of here.
Okay, well, while you're answering that question...
Okay.
People were asking if it's still Marks of Fury that you're getting, and
yes.
It is.
Yep.
So
still the same tier, so yeah.
Same tier. Same tier. Okay.
And those are the big ones I wanted to hit before we move on. So.
Okay. So artifacts from the past, 100. Where is it?
So
League Hall Lockdown,
100.
Yeah. Necropolis, Relics of Urgrund, 100. So there are your 3 raids or 8-player content, and then you have Intergame Crime Wave, which is the open world one we talked about, and League Hall Security Breach, which is the other one we talked about. One is an op, one is a alert, and then in here we have one of them is an op, and the other 2 are raids. So more instances or private spaces than operations, or single spaces than operations, definitely. But still have some ops in there. And one of the ops, only one of the ops goes to the open world.
Yep, and it goes to the original.
The original open world, original Metropolis, and the other one goes from one private instance, your hall, to another. Okay, what else you got?
For questions?
Yeah. Anything else?
I mean, those are
on this part. Anything else on that? Okay, great. Yeah. So let's check out. So the League Hall, you're going to find the guys who are going to give you your missions for this stuff, you're going to talk to kick all this off, are going to be right here. No, he's here, right. Mr. Miracle. He's right here, and we have this colony trader who is a bug, right?
Yep, he has some problems.
Yeah, it doesn't look like him. I wonder if the other NPCs are going to be like that. Ignore that. That is not what the bugs look like at all. They do not look like that. Oh, there's Barda.
Come here often.
Oh, they're flirting. They're married. Do you know what's funny? So, what we didn't know when we cast this, the 2 actors that play these are actually boyfriend girlfriend in real life.
Perfect.
Yes. Yes, it's true.
Great
and we had no idea. We just picked who we thought was best for the role, not necessarily like chemistry or anything like that, just who sounded best. And bam, They were amazing. All right, so I can't promise you that the bugs in this are going to
Yeah,
be
that's
broken or
interesting.
not. That they might be broken, and we might not be able to show you the art of the bugs. I actually tweeted out one of the bugs and kind of what bugs look like. So if you want to see, you can see that if they're broken. I can also maybe send some images out later. No promises. All right, so let's. Should we show the styles, Meps?
Sure, let's do
All
it.
right. Do you want to pull me into the Hall of Doom actually, and we'll show where Calabac and Mantis are?
Okay, I got to warp over there.
Okay. All right. We will wait for that to happen. So the basic series of NPCs that we have, and we're going to actually show you some of those in a little bit. The new gods, we have Calabac and Mantis, Mr. Miracle, and Big Barda. With each part of the of the Halls of Power DLCs, each part in the trilogy, we're going to be introducing more people, and eventually you can imagine where we're going to be building toward. Yes, Darkseid will be making an appearance in this trilogy. Not going to say when. And Highfather as well.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to see. We're not going to be exploring every single new god that appeared in the Fourth World content. There's just too many to do. And quite frankly, some of them are ridiculous. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and say that now. I mean, I guess the Black Racer is badass and cool, but he literally flies through space on skis with ski poles. I don't know. I'm just not down with it. It's a little too...
it's hard to keep your balance in space.
Little too 60s for me. Okay, so here's Calabac talking to a wall because he's crazy. He's he has orthodonture issues. He needs some work. And Mantis should be coming. Did he just call you out, Meps?
He did.
He just pointed at you. He's like angry at everybody. So here we are in the Hall of Doom. This is where you're going to see Calabac from now on in the public space. And once in a while, you'll see parademons going in and out, who are not screwed up, by the way. Parademons are normal looking, angry fellows.
Awesome looking.
And see if Mantis comes in here. But if he doesn't, that's okay. We'll see him later when we spawn them. Do you want to actually do that now, Meps? We'll go in here. I don't
Sure.
think there's anything in here we can mess up. Maybe they'll kill Deathstroke and Lady Shiva. We shall see. Okay, so let's go ahead and actually spawn some of the encounters that have the parademons in them.
Okay. Do I have all these numbers? You don't have any of these?
Yes, you have them
Excellent.
all. You know how to spawn an encounter?
Let me see.
I put the command on the notes.
Yeah, the command's right in there.
It's really complicated. It's
We'll go. You know what? You can
spawn.
open up my.
Yeah, exactly.
Open the Meps cave today is actually my office. So he's really in this Fortress of Spittlitude. So go ahead and open up my email and go to the Donovan's email. You can just copy and paste that stuff. It's easier.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
I don't care.
All of them?
Just bugs. Or wait, no, parademons. We'll check them out. They should appear all around me. Based on where he's facing. Let's see.
There they are.
Boom. All right, here's some. And there are more than these. You can spawn the others. Spawn them all.
Okay.
All right,
here they
here's
come.
one. They got subtle variations to their armor. You can see that this one has the lines and the dots on the chest. This one had just sort of a green chest with some dots on it. What's that? That's a bug.
It's a bug.
Yeah, that's bugs.
I thought you were just going to spawn parademons. All right. So the
only got
bugs. No, there's multiple encounters in there. Oh, a little problem there.
missing
Flamethrower
his weapon.
foot. Oh, yeah, he doesn't have his weapon.
That's strange.
Oh, we didn't do the preloads, did we?
Oh no, we didn't.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Well, we're not going to see.
With the encounters, they'll work okay. With the
Okay.
iconics, they won't.
Yeah. So we're going to need that list after all. Okay. Why don't you start typing those in off your phone while we're talking here? Do you have that email? I have it right here. If you need
Email's
it.
not connecting.
There we go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Could be interesting. All right, so here we are with the parademons fighting the bugs. All different kinds of bugs in this. Just do the ones from the iconics here. Spawn some more. Ah! All right, they don't have their weapons. I was going to tell maps to spawn the iconics if you want to.
Oh, okay.
Screw it. Let's forget their effects. We're not going to do it. It's too much. We needed the digital copy. I thought it would have been in a text file here, but it is not. We'll just look at the models and they'll fight each other. I don't know that you'll be able to get these in time.
Okay, do you want the iconics now?
Yeah, go ahead. If he manages to get him spawned in time, that's fine. Okay, so here's Big Barda. Well, she's joining in the fight. She's got her Mega Rod. Here comes Calabac. Also in the fight now. We'll probably kill this bug. Here's Mr. Miracle. He will have flight discs, I believe, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't seem to have them on his feet right now. Probably the effect missing, right?
Yep.
Okay. Hopefully we'll see that. And there's Mantis. Mantis has the actual cape. We were actually able to do Mantis's cool attached to the wrists and the back of the calf cape. So I told the character team that that's going to be instantly popular and requested. So we'll see if we can't make some actual player variants of those things eventually. Nice! Now she's got her big Mega Rod going on there. Donovan's starting to get some of the effects in. Let's see if they'll use some of their abilities. Almost got it. Oh. Alright, see if Calabac will do something interesting now. Now he's got his rod. Beta Club, I should say. Is that Miracle?
Yeah, I already did Miracle.
Okay.
It should be all 4 of them.
Okay. All right, so these are the iconics, mixing it up with some of the minions here. Unfortunately, you can spawn some more bugs if you want to.
So this is just their basic, very
basic combat.
attack.
This has nothing to do with any of their effects from
special abilities. And the raids
special abilities and
like
stuff.
That, yeah.
I guess the encounters randomly spawn different bugs and different. So just because you spawn it a bunch of times, Meps, if you want to.
The same encounter.
Yeah, the same encounter a bunch of times. All right, so you see random kinds of. It's a lot of bugs, or parademons. Sorry. Do some bugs. Get a bug army in here. New gods in DCUO. Hooray! Finally, people have been asking for this for a while, and we did it. You guys did it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Where are the bugs? Oh my goodness, that's a small little bug. All right, so some of the drones, the bugs are messed up.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
There's actually some other.
Some of them seem to be okay. Nope, they're all messed up. Okay, stop spawning bugs. No more bugs. Okay, let's go show some styles now.
Okay.
Leave the iconics behind. I'm gonna go to my base. Okay.
I'll follow.
Oh, you're not. You don't have permissions. You don't
I
have
do not
permissions.
observe the niceties of doors, sir.
All right. We even have a red and white parademon.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the. It's the same model-ish as those, but it has red and white coloring. It's a unique model, but it's not.
Definitely unique.
It's not the other look. It's the same kind of parademon and
stuff.
Not weird. It's not like the He-Man parademon.
Yep.
It looks like. Okay. So I'm in my base. I set up some stuff so you can see. Let me move my camera in here. Boop boop boop. Okay. Here are the hero versions of the armor. Now, the armor for this particular DLC, we wanted to start with the minion factions to build that up a little bit, and then as we get into parts 2 and parts 3, we'll do more iconic looking suits. But we wanted to kind of represent the bugs and the parademons here in this first one. So I set up some armories. Let's do the light one. which is a little more form-fitting. It's definitely not a slim line or anything like that, or a flex suit, but it is slimmer. So you can see here this very cool bug-style armor, bug-inspired armor. This is it right here, and we designed these to be very mix and matchy. So here's the it's called the insect colonist, and then we have the imperial insect as well, which is the next step up. A little heavier armor on him, heavier pieces, a little more molding and sculpting going on here. All of these bits that are white are like emissive bits as well, as you can see here, and you can tint those whatever color you want. I'll go ahead and show you that. If I was to change my color scheme, I could go to this white here and let's say turn it green and get more of a green look to it. Save that off, and you can see there. Look, they actually have animation going on in there. You can see it scrolling, kind of humming with power a little bit. All the emissive, let me back up to a wall. Sometimes it's easier to see that way. All the emissive bits have kind of an animation and a pulsing to them, which is very cool. You don't notice it when you have it as white, but you definitely notice it when. Okay, so XSplit crashed on us or disconnected for some reason, but we are back, and I will continue showing you styles. I don't know what happened. Our broadcast just disconnected. Nothing happened with the game. It's still running, as you can see right here. Anyway, pretty sure you guys should be back with us at this point. All right, so here's the bug mix and match. I have on different pieces of each. This is the chest from the medium, pants from the light, boots from the heavy. I think of the back from the light, the head from the light, shoulders from the light. So different pieces. Extremities are all heavy, and the chest is heavy. You can mix and match. So cool. All right, those are the hero styles. Meps, show us the Parademon.
All right, so I'm wearing the first style, the vendor style, I believe.
All right, hold on a second here. Yeah, I'll explain that in a second. Okay, let's get a good look at you because I have the house cam tech. All right, so this is the light Parademon. I tweeted this out, actually. Parademon inspired. He's got a little hole for your face there, and cool emissive dots as well. And go ahead and switch into the medium if you don't mind. The kind of next step up. All right, here we go. It's got toes. It's got clawed toes. All right, and this is the medium version. You can see some tubing and piping. That always makes armor more powerful when it has its own coolant system or something in it.
Kirby has established that.
Yes. Here's the back piece that you can see right there. Very cool. Okay, and you can mix and match these styles, and they go really well together as well. But Meps doesn't have an armory set up, so we're not gonna wait for him to do that. Unless, oh, there we go. He's got. There you go. Okay, so that's like back and chest for and shoulders from the medium or from the light, and then the rest from the medium. Go the other way. Switch that around. Do your legs with medium or light and chest with medium. Nice. All right, so all different kinds of looks that you can do that are Parademon inspired. Mix and match, make some unique really kind of looks, and they mix and match very well, just like the bug inspired armor does. So the item levels in this are 93 in the 4-player, 94 in the 8-player stuff, and the vendor items are 94, and there are 94 level drops in the raid that have better stats than the 94 vendor armor. The light armor will be on the vendor, and the rare drops, they'll also drop in the raid itself. The rare drops, which have the better stats but are the same armor level, will drop in the raid only, and they have the medium style, the second style I showed you guys and the Mep showed you guys. Those are also available on the vendor for Marks of Fury. So same kind of setup that we've done in the past, where we give you kind of the rare drops to have a similar item level but better stats on it, and it has the rare style on it, which if you're lucky enough to get, you don't have to spend the Marks of Fury on the vendor to buy the individual style, but you can certainly earn the marks and buy that style to get the feat if you want to. So that's kind of the setup that we're going for the loot, and how we look to be doing loot in the future, unless you guys give us some different feedback there. So, did we crash again? I guess so.
Did we?
I don't know.
I didn't see an error message that time.
They're saying again. Your phone's ringing. Do you want me to answer it?
No, probably not.
Really?
Yeah. Looks like we're still on.
Okay. All right. So someone's just trolling me.
Yep.
Thanks. I'm gonna kick that person. All right. Anyway. Okay. So let's see. What else? Base items. Ooh, Maps. You didn't know I was gonna do this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna show them. So we saw in the raid that there are some relics from Urgrund, some old god relics that you can see, that you can get. You can get replicas of those for your base, which is super tray cool. Oop, did it not? Here we go. Let me use the. There we go. Look at this. All right, the bowl replica. We got the chalice, the chest artifact replica, the column, the shield, the stone, the shard, the skull, the winged artifact replica. And let's pick that and place that. Why can't I place it there? Why is it telling me I can't place that? Oh, I haven't unlocked free placement with this dude. Hold on. Which is going away soon, by the way. When we release halls, I believe you don't have to do that nonsense anymore. Here. Nope. I don't know. Can't place these right now for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe we have a bug there. I didn't actually try and place these before. That is odd. Maybe it's just over here. We have some other items that are in this as well. We will investigate why you can't place those, obviously. We have some other cool items. Yeah, that's just bizarre. They're in my inventory, so let me get out of here. These are also base items that are included in Halls of Power. Some police station desk, dusty crate stack, medical operating light. These are cool things that you can use in your hall or your lair if you want to, and they will be found in the various pieces of content and drop as well. So also some not just Urgrund style replica things. We also have this awesome weapon rack with all the replicas of all the weapons that you can get and that make you really huge. You can see that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty
there's
cool.
the gold palette too, though. That was really cool.
Yes, that's good. Okay. Okay, so those are the... what else was I going to show, Maps? Was that it?
That's it. We've done it.
All right, so
we do have a couple more questions.
All right.
Will the drops still be unattuned?
Yes. It's the same kind of the weapons will be unattuned, drops unattuned, all that stuff. So very friendly system to the players.
Are there new weapon styles?
No. This DLC does not have new weapon styles. We probably won't be releasing new weapon styles with every single DLC now. We're probably going to skip one and do every other.
Okay. Ice Lantern wants to know about the difficulty of the 8-man content. How would you compare it to, let's say, survival mode?
Okay, so what we are doing is... actually, why don't you go ahead and describe that in terms of how you guys set up the difficulty.
So, like I mentioned earlier, we have 3 pieces of content, and they kind of scale in difficulty, not only in game mechanics, but what it takes to get through the missions and things like that. So we have the single hall crawl kind of raid. That's the generally the simplest mechanics. It's not easy by any means, but to understand how to get through the things, it's the least thinking of the raids. And then we have the 8-player alert, or I'm sorry, the 8-player operation, and that one's kind of a middle ground, kind of what everybody's used to. Definitely has some difficult mechanics, but once you learn those mechanics, you'll get through pretty normally. It's a normal difficulty raid for the tier. And then the most difficult is the single room assault on your league hall, and that one's very difficult. In comparison to the survival mode, it's hard to compare those two because there's lots of interesting mechanics and very, very difficult mechanics in the raid. The survival mode doesn't have a lot of mechanics in there. The iconics are very vanilla. You don't have a lot of room mechanics going on. You don't have things to make the controller go do things, to make the DPS go activate some switches, things like that. So there's lots of really cool, very difficult mechanics in that fight. So we definitely try to spread out the difficulty and let players choose what they think is the most fun, and then give the rewards based on the difficulties too.
It's a lot like what I described and outlined in the post I made a while ago, either in dev discussion or announcement about content difficulty, where we're doing one hard per and then some ones that are accessible to your average player. The really, really hardcore skilled folks that want that tough challenge can go into that and try and conquer it day one, and others might need to gear up in some of the other content before they're able to conquer it. Think of it a lot like survival mode in that way. Look, I'm not trying to insult anybody, but it's just a fact that people with the same gear levels are getting farther or not as far as other groups. It just is the way it is. It doesn't mean you're terrible. It just means that there are players that can go a little further in more difficult content, and so we wanted to accommodate for that in this. And there's that one raid that is tough. So we're always going to be having something out there where it's either a new raid or some kind of survival mode that's really meant to kind of challenge our players that are craving that level of difficulty.
Yep.
Very cool. Okay. Finally, which gear
I don't
is
believe
better?
You, by the way.
Which gear? May not be finally.
Okay.
Which gear is better, the vendor gear or the dropped gear?
So the rare drop gear is the best gear that you can get stat-wise.
The same CR as the vendor gear,
Right.
just better stats.
Correct.
Okay, same combat rating but better stats, slightly
Correct.
better stats.
Correct.
Okay.
Same level.
Do you happen to know offhand how many feats there are in this DLC?
Actually,
I think we said there are 6 skill points.
There's going to be
right?
6 skill points. I don't know how many feats, but 6 skill points.
Let's look.
It's a lot of feats.
All right, let's look. Halls of Power. Urgrund Energy Conservation. Split Decision. Defeat Aspirant Fiend and Major Hellion within 13 seconds of each other. Ooh. Kaboom Tube! So good. All right, drop the weapon. Tough on crime. Behind closed doors. So you can see there's a lot. Look at them all.
There's a lot.
Ooh, I've done 3 of them. I'm so awesome. Snug as a bug and For the Empire. Oh, that's because I gave myself styles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, and then the exit through the gift shop, the base items that I got. So all the ones that were just granted to me for the live stream, so I could show you styles and base items. I got those feats. But the rest of them have some cool.
We
cool
try
stuff.
to do
a lot
around
of things.
four per mission or so, approximately.
Mm-hmm. Teen mission.
Oh, they cannot see the screen right now if you want to hop
What?
over.
Oh my God! I did that on purpose to torture you. See that? Be nicer to me out there on social media, and that won't happen again. Okay, so here we go. Urgrund Energy Conserve, Split Decision, Kaboom Tube. There, I'm repeating now, right? Okay, so here you see some of them. Quick to recover. You got the crowd. So some kill feats, some skill-based ones for content completion in certain ways. And then here are the style ones on the bottom. Okay, so
try to
a
do
lot
a
of them.
variety. Yeah.
A lot of them. 5s, 1s, 3s, 5s. No escape. What's that one? Complete the intergame crime wave operation by defeating Bruno Mannheim. It's so slow. And Chang Su at the same time, ensuring that neither have a chance to escape. I'd be dead if I was reading this in the raid to find out how to do it, and I was chance to escape. Okay, so that's a mechanic where I don't want to spoil it, but cool stuff to do. Okay, I'm gonna keep the screen up now, so there's no possibility I could not show something again. All right, what else, Meps?
That's really it. Some people were asking for us to just recap all the elements of the DLC again.
Let's recap it. All right, so Halls of Power, it's featuring the new gods. They're coming to DCUO, 4 of them, Mr. Miracle, Big Barda. There's Calabac and Mantis. They're going to be sort of leading the charge here as the 4th world comes to Earth for the first time in DCUO. They'll be followed by hordes of parademons and bugs. And actually the bugs and the new gods are aligned, and there is a cool story reason for that. Which involves Forager and the death of Forager. So don't expect Forager to show up because he be dead. He's dead already. And we are going to be going to the ruins of the Third World, the old Necropolis that's on New Genesis and Apocalypse, and explore those ruins and the dregs, the zombie sort of, zombie husks. The dregs will be fighting there, and they'll be taking on all comers, heroes or villains. You're going to be looking for artifacts and relics of the Third World to keep them out of Darkseid's hands, or maybe help him if you're a villain. You're working with Calabac and Mantis. 3 pieces of 8-player content, 2 raids, 1 operation. 2 pieces of 4-player content, 1 alert and 1 operation. Those take place inside your League Hall or on the planets Apocalypse and New Genesis and the Necropolis, or outside in the open world of Necropolis, and even on Oolong Island. It goes there too. And we have 4 new styles, 2 for heroes, 2 for villains. Light and medium bug armor, light and medium parademon-inspired armor. We've got cool new mechanics in the raids, which really try and engage and involve the roles. Tank, controller, healer. We have the awesome artifact weapon mechanic that's in there as well, which is super fun. A lot of player intentionality and randomness in terms to keep things fresh for you as you're going through the DLC. And let's see, what else did I miss? Some base items, replicas of the Urgrund relics, and you also get a bunch of other stuff that's appropriate for your haul that's dropping. Terrestrial type items. What did I miss? New
Skill
feats.
points. Yep.
New feats, new skill points.
Yep.
Items leveled 93 and 94 with rare drops level 94, giving you better stats inside of the raids. You can buy style items, rare style items for Marks of Fury, and I don't know what else, Meps. Did I miss anything?
I think you got it.
Okay.
That's Halls of Power.
That's
Part
Halls of Power Part 1, people, and it's just Part 1. Imagine what's coming in Part 2 and Part 3. Good Lord. It's going to be awesome. So awesome. All right, thank you for tuning in to our broadcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry we crashed there in the middle on the broadcasting software here, but we will edit that together and make MEP's job harder to get that up on YouTube for you if you missed it, to watch the replay. We hope you like what you see. We will let you know when this is going to hit PC test. We don't have an answer for you right now. Still working on getting GU39 up there. Thank you again. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, when it goes to PC test, definitely get on the forums and give us feedback. We're definitely open for any kind of comments or improvements that we can do to the content.
Yeah, difficulty and also team mechanics and strategy
Absolutely.
and stuff.
Absolutely.
Right? You guys are chomping at the bit to make those, to tune those so that you players and folks out there can be happy, because we want you happy, and we hope that the new gods will make you happy. Put a lot of hard work into this. So good job to you and your team. Good job to all of the other supporting teams, artists and programmers and designers that made all this possible. And look forward to getting it to you on PC Test. Meps, of course, thank you, buddy. Thank you for GM commanding us around the world and spawning stuff up, even though a couple of things were broken. That's not your fault. but I will publicly blame you anyway. Meps, you got to fix that
Fine.
stuff.
Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Love you, buddy. See you later. Okay.
All right.
We're out.
Sony.